net cross section area, that is what about from this I can write here, from this the A net cross section area that is equal to KS into AG. That is what here same KS into AG here. The K is equal to net cross section, the cross section area. So net cross section area, there is area occupied by only magnetic material, that is excluding insulating material. There is no insulating material in that net cross section area. It means I will show you here like that. So if you take this, if you take this all these points here, dear students, please, I'm asking you only. Try to give the response. We'll do some problems. Have you understood these points? So what is meant by net cross-sectional area, gross cross-sectional area, and Ks stacking factor? So generally we have the transformer. This is the transformer. In the transformer, suppose this is the laminations are required here in the transformer. Or this is the laminations. These are all laminations here. So in that we have to take this the L and B. So in that between the all laminations, some insulating material will be there in order to avoid the short circuit here. So for required electrical isolation, so the insulating material and along with the magnetic material will be there. So along with so the magnetic material with along with insulating material, that is the cross section area is called as what? AG. So only magnetic material. So the area occupied only magnetic material, that is called as AN. That is net cross section area. So the ratio of, that is what about here, the ratio of net cross section area to gross cross section area is nothing but stacking factor. So the stacking factor always depends on the laminations, thickness of the laminations here. There is the value is what about here 0.5 to 0.95 like that. So these are all most important points. Have you understood this all these points, dear students? Please, anyone response? Okay, thank you. So please, all of you take all these points here. So next I will go with you. So again for ideal transformer, the input power, there is the same thing here. Next coming to, so hence currents in the inverse ratio of the voltage, that is transformation ratio here. Already I discussed with you. So coming to the problems. So the maximum flux density in the core of a 250 by 3000. So the maximum flux density in the core of a 250 by 3000 volts 50H transformer, 50H single phase transformer is 1.2 Weber per meter square. So the 1.2 Weber per meter square or Tesla. This is the maximum flux density. So as you know, so there is, if the EMF per ton is 8 volts. So determine primary and secondary turns and area of the core. So then you can do this problem first of all. As you know that E equal to 4.44 F by M into N. That is E1 and N1. So from that I will write here E1 equal to 4.44 F BM into A into N1. And similarly E2 equal to 4.44 F BM into A into N2. Okay, but that EM per ton is nothing but that is given here 8. But how to find out this here? So anyone is doing this problem, or shall I explain or not? Shall I continue or you are doing that problem? So that is given, that BM is given here. So you have to find out this area of the core, and primary and what about here? And primary and secondary turns. Primary and secondary turns. So first of all, here that is if you give that problem is 250 by 3000. So you have to take that is V1 by V2. That is what about here? This is the primary voltage. This is the secondary voltage. Okay, N1 equal to 32. Okay, that is 31 point something, I think. 31.25 or 95 it will come. There is approximately 32, I think. Because what about here? So there is 250 pi. So there is what about 250 pi number of turns? So generally the number of turns, that is what about here? E1 equal to, so there is what about here? The number of turns. There is E1 for number of turns here. Okay, from that you can get this. So the number of turns, so there is EM for number of turns equal to what here? EM for number of turns, that is equal to E1. So there is E1 by N1 here. There is E1 by N1, that is equal to EM for turn. So then that from that N1 equal to what here? There is E1 by EM for turn. EM for turn is nothing but what? E1 is so there E1 is this one. There is 250 by 8. Then you can get some value. This value 31 point something. Then you can get 32 approximately. So similarly N2 also there is same. E2 by for 8 number of turns, there is 8 here. EM for turn. Then E2 equal what here? That 3000 by 8. Then you can get what about here? 3. I think 375. How much you got? That 375. Is it correct? 8 3s are okay 24. 8 7s are 56. 8 5s are 40. Okay, right. Okay. This is 32 for 32 turns for primary and secondary turns. So because you just remember, so you are having 250 turns on primary. So there is what about you have to take V1 by V2. You have to take also E1 by E2. That point you have to remember. When the V1 and V2 is given, coming to problematic, you have to take E1 by E2. E1 by E2. So the area is 0.03. Okay, very good. The area is 0.03. Very good, Venkat Sai. We'll see how we get. Just wait. Just I'm closing all these points here. So okay. So first of all, E1 equal to N1 into induced EM per turn here. E1 equal to N1 into induced EM per turn. Already we have discussed this derivation. So here. So here that E1 equal to this induced EM per turn N1 here. There is number of turns in N1. This is into this N1. This turn. Similarly E2 also. So next in that so that N1 equal to E1. So that is E1 per. There is E1 for induced EM per turn here. There is 250 by. So there is what about here? There is 250 by 8, 32. There is 250 by 8, 32 here. (250 by 8, 32). So there is approximately 31. Some people are actually shame on you guys, but now they are joining. I don't know because so much of disturbance will come. Well, they join middle of the session. So N2 equal to induced EM per turn. There is 375. Generally, this is not exactly 32, but 31 point something, I think so. So we may use. So in order to find out that so we got to primary, and what about here? We got primary and secondary turns, like primary and secondary turns. What about area of the core? As you know that the relation will be there. E2 equal to 4.44 F N2 BMA. So yeah, so here there is no net cross sectional and gross cross sectional area. So A equal to E2 by 4.44 F N2 BM. So from that you can get 0.03 meters square. So if you take the cross sectional area, so in that, if you take this is the transformer, so in the transformer you are giving this primary and secondary. So the primary voltage, this is the 3000 and secondary side is 250 V1, this 250 are giving. So then you can get to, so E1 is also same here, but number of turns on this is 32. Here this is what about here 375, and what about here this is the cross sectional area. You have to take this cross sectional area here only. The cross sectional area will be 0.03 A. This is the cross sectional area you have to take. Okay. Next problem here. So a single phase transformer. A single phase transformer has 400 primary and 1000 secondary turns. The net cross sectional area of the core is 60 centimeters square. So if the primary winding B connected, just wait. I want to. Just wait. Okay. A single phase transformer has 400 primary and 1000 secondary turns. The net cross sectional area of the core is 60 centimeters square. If the primary winding be connected to a 50H supply at 520 volts, calculate the peak value of the flux density in the core and the voltage induced in the secondary winding. So please do this problem. A single phase transformer has 400 primary and 1000 secondary turns. Let us take that. So here the primary turns are what here? 400. Secondary set turns are more. That's why 1000 here. And second, so the net cross sectional area. You have to take the net cross sectional area here of the core 60 centimeters square. There is 60 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. So if the primary winding connected 50 edges here. Supply at 520 volts. At 520 volts means, so this is the 400 turns. So here this is the 520 volts here. So then find the peak value of the flux density in the core and the voltage induced in the secondary winding. You have to find out this voltage induced in the secondary. So you always remember this V1, otherwise you can take this is the E1. So you have to take this is the V2, otherwise you can take E2 here. Okay, then find out the solution here. So from this solution, you know, there's a here what about here that E equal to 4.44 F pi, otherwise F pi m n. So there is what about here 4.44 F n 1 B m into A. So you have to find out this one here. You know the E1, and you know the 4.44 and F value, and what about n value, then A value, then you have to find out this Bm. Then Bm equal to what here? E1 by 4.44 F into N1 into A. So you know the frequency, you know this one is 400, you know the A, what about 60 into 10 power minus 4, then you can find out what about here, Bm value. So then find out the Bm value, that is the peak value of the flux density in the core, that is 0.9. So very good, Venkat Sai, that is 0.75. The 0.975 I think so. Very good, Ravali. Please anyone do these problems? Because already you have studied this transform, but so just I am giving this boost up to that whatever those topics will covered by in I think first year. basic electrical engineering, but some of the people forgot this all those topics. That's why I am bootstrapping this all these topics here. Is anyone responsible? Not only that Venkat Sai, only Ravali and Srinivas Reddy, but what about other people who just on that WebEx app, just going their works? They're doing their works. Okay, very good, Dikshita. So you should learn some more things. Because you are attending the classes means you should know some new things. You should learn some new things. But some of the people are just on the session, just they are doing their works, their personal works. This is not fair. Suppose if you doing like that, you are neglecting your studies means, so you will face some problems in future. So what about that the voltage induced in the secondary winding? How to find out that voltage? After knowing this BM, then what about your 0.975? Then you know the A, then easily find out E2 equal what about here? That is 4.44 F B M A into N2. Very good. Otherwise, you can take so simply. That is not correct. 1265, I think. Otherwise, you can find out this formula. Otherwise, we know the according to voltage transformation ratio. There is what about here? E2 by E1. There is N2 by N1 equal to K. Otherwise, V2 by V1. There is I1 by I2 equal to K. This is the voltage transformation. Otherwise, from this you can take this relation E2 by E1 equal to K. But what about the K? How to get the K? The K equal to N2 by N1. So that is equal to what about N2 by N1? From this that K value. So how much N2 value? That is 1000. What about here? 400. The K value equal to what here? So 1000 by 400. That is what about here? 2.5, I think. So you know the K value. From this you know there is K into E1 here. So K equal to 2.5. What about the E1? So the E1 equal to I think 520. So here you can take what about here? There is a 520 here. Then 520 means 520 to 2.5. How much? I think 1300 will come here. That is voltage. Oh, this is the E2. Otherwise, you can use this relation also. You can use this relation also. This relation, then you can get same the 1300. I think so. 1300 volt. But that is the simple way. So this type of problems will ask in the competitive examinations, like sub engineers or assistant engineers or assistant executive engineers or management training, executive training or gate exams. So have we got these two answers here? I think 0.975 and 1300 volts. So we'll see. So we'll see that K equal to N2 by N1, that is 1000 by 400 is 2.5. Okay. So this is the transformation ratio, that is a constant here. K is the voltage transformation ratio. So from that is first of all the peak value of the maximum flux density in the core means that is E1 by 4.44 F N1A. So from this 0.975 or 976 Weber per meter square here. Oh, this is the value. And what about here? That E2 by E1 equal to K. That is E2 equal to K into E1. That is equal to 2.5. 520. Then you can get what about here? 1300 volts. This is the simple way. Otherwise, you can do this formula. E2 equal to 4.44 F into BMA. Then you can get some 1300 also. Okay. Have you understood this problem, dear students? Please try to give the response. I'm asking you, but you people are not giving the response. Is it okay? So take this problem, a 25 kVA transformer, very good. A 25 kVA transformer has 500 turns on the primary and 50 turns on the secondary winding. The primary is connected to 3000 volts. The primary is connected to 3000 volts, 50 A supply. Find the full load primary and secondary currents. The secondary EMF and the secondary EMF and the maximum flux in the core. Neglect leakage drops and no load primary current. Neglect leakage drops and no load primary current. So neglect means this is the ideal transformer. That is what about ideal transformer here. So first of all, before going to do this problem, first of all you have to draw. So you have to draw this like circuit diagram. Here. Please all of you do this problem first of all. Okay. Now this is ideal transformer. In that, so a 25 kVA transformer has, this is the rating of transformer is 25. So this is the 25 kVA transformer. And 500 turns on the primary. So this 500 turns on the primary here. And 50 turns on the secondary. But turns are more on secondary, you just forget about. The primary is connected to 3000 volts. The primary is connected to 3000 volts. The primary is connected to 3000 volts here. 50 H supply. ఈరోజు ఇవ్వ నేను తర్వాత దీనికి తర్వాత చెప్తే supply. Find the full load primary and secondary currents. So the secondary EMF and the maximum flux in the core. If you neglect the leakage drops and no load primary current, so what you get here? So please do this problem first of all. The primary is connected to 3000 volts and 50 H supply. Find the full load primary and secondary currents. Anyone is doing this problem? Okay, 8.33 sign up, very good. 8.33 for primary, okay. So in order to find out the problem, there is I1 equal to KVA rating. KVA rating of transformer into 1000 by E1, like that. So similarly for I2 also same, KVA rating into 1000 by E2. So this is the full load current. Full load current. Oh, this is full load current for secondary side. is the full load primary current, this is the full load secondary current. That is KVA rating into 1000 by E1. Oh, this is a relation you have to remember. Okay, just wait. Which one is N1 here? Just wait. Okay, primary. Okay, Venkat Sai. 125 as a secondary. That is not correct. That is 83.33 correct. It is 200 volts. Okay, but also what about others? Okay, just means so K equal to N2 by N1, that is 50 by 500 here. 50 by 500 here. That is 50 by 500 is 1 by 10, that is 0.1. So now full load current is what about here? Already explained here. The full load current I1 equal to KVA rating into KVA rating. There is KVA rating into 1000 by E1. So there is what about here? The KVA means 25 into 1000 by, that is 25 KVA into 1000 by E1 is, that is 3000. Like 25 into 1000 by 25,000 by 3000, that is 8.33 amps. So what about here? Full load current I2, that is, as you know that I2 equal to, that is I2 by I1, that is that I2 by I1 equal to 1 by K, otherwise according to voltage transmission ratio, that is V2 by V1, E2 by E1, that is N2 by N1, that is I1 by I2, that is equal to what here? K. From this I2 by I1 equal to, this is I2 by I1 equal to what here? 1 by K. Otherwise, from this relation, I2 equal to I1 by K. This one. So I1 by K, but K equal to is nothing but K equal to what here? 1 by 10. But 1 by K is nothing but 10 itself. 10 into 8.33, then 83.3 amps. 83.3 amps. Simply you have to do. Okay. Okay, very good, Ravali. So only 3 or 4 members are doing this problem. So EM per turn on primary side, that is what about here? EM per turn on 3000 by 500, then 6 volts you can get. Okay. And what about so secondary EMF is what about 6 into 50, that is 300 volts. That is 5. Secondary EMF is what about 6 into 50, that is 300 volts. 300 volts. So how to get this value here? I think you are understood here. Secondary EMF here. So there is EM per turn on primary means there is 6. There is EM per turn on primary, and what about here? There is 50. Sorry, the EMF per turn on secondary, there is equal to here 6 and here. So the EM per turn into the E2 equal to EM per turn into what about here? 50. There is EM per turn into the secondary turns is what about N2. So the EMF per turn is nothing but what here? 6. Into N2 is nothing but what about here? 50 turns on second remaining. 50. Then you can get what about 300. Okay. Then pi m equal to A1 by 4.44 F N1. From that you can get what about here? 3000 by 4.44, 50 into 500 turns. 27 milliwebers. So what we have to find? Full load primary current, that already we got. Secondary current we got, and EM per turn, there is secondary EMF here. There is what about here? EMF and maximum flux in the core. The maximum flux in the core here. So 27 milliwebers here. How much? How many people got this? Is 27? I think. 8.33, 83. It is not 200. Sai Nath. Flux is not 0.02. I think this pi m is not found in people. So these are 27 millivibers. So these are all simple problems. Okay. So next class we'll discuss ideal transformer. Next class we'll discuss what about here? Ideal transformer. Ideal transformer. Sorry. Ideal transformer here. Next class we'll discuss ideal transformer. That is compared with this practical transformer. Practical transformer. In ideal transformer, the efficiency is 100%. In practical transformer, the efficiency is 95 to 98% here. So in ideal transformer, if you take this is if you draw the maximum flux with respect to exciting current, so then you can get the Mann-Eisenstein characteristics here linear. Coming to practical transformer, so this is for ideal transformer. So in practical transformer, we have that curve will be there, like this is a practical transformer. So in ideal transformer, the efficiency is 100%. Practical transformer, the efficiency 95 to 98. So this is the difference between the practical and ideal transformer. Because in ideal transformer, ideal means what about? If I am giving the example, you want to become a, so after complete your graduation, that is BTech. So you want to become one civil, like what about one collector or one engineer? That is ideal case. But how to implement that is practical? You have to work hard. You have to. So the ideal is there is. So you have to think like that. I want to become one collector. I want to become a good professor. I want to become a good engineer. There is ideal case. But how to implement this practical here? Practical case. So you have to work hard. You have to work hard. Suppose if you are preparing some external examinations, so your ideal condition is you want to get suppose 90 marks, 90%. But coming to practical, you not get 90% instead of 10. So here you have to get only 80% because your effort is not fulfilled here. So you want to work hard, then only you can get 90% here. So this is ideal. So ideal means you have to think like that. But coming to practical, you have to work hard like that. Okay. These are all here. So thank you for your patience. Just wait. I'm going to take this attendance. If you have any doubts, you just ask me. After that, so next class we'll discuss ideal transformer and practical. In that practical, we have unload condition and low load condition. Unload condition, no load condition will be there with phasor diagrams. Okay, after discussing the phasor diagrams, we'll discuss the equivalent circuit. So these are all most important topics for transformer. Okay, so please try to attend the classes. Don't miss the classes here. If you